Coming up today, we take a look at the Invisible Man movies. This is Cult versus Current.
Oh,
that is terrifying. This guy is strong.
Hello guys, and welcome to Cult versus Current. I'm your host, Edward Harvey, and I'm joined with Johan Chapol. So we're talking about The Invisible Man. We've just seen the new movie, and we absolutely loved it, didn't we?
I thought if I did this, you couldn't see me.
No.
But yeah, we got to see the new Invisible Man. We saw it in the cinema, and we really liked it.
Yeah, it's like I'd only heard a few things about it. I'd heard it's very much like a 90s thriller, which I'm all about that. I love 90s thrillers. Of course you are. So if anyone's seen something like Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts,
yes,
it's very much like, especially the opening where she has to kind of escape. And the only difference is she obviously fakes her death in that movie, and he fakes his death, the Invisible Man, in this movie. So they kind of swap that around. But it's very much like that abusive storyline in Sleeping with the Enemy, where she's basically like needs to escape this like sort of horrible man.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting concept. It's like basically like they did something so different with this movie to what every other version of Invisible Man has done.
Yeah.
But it works so amazingly. That invisible predator type thing is excellent.
This bit made me so nervous.
Oh, that's just creepy, that was.
That is, that's surprise.
Now here's the thing, there's a backstory a little bit to the new one. Is originally there was a whole, do you remember the Dark Universe?
Yes.
The failure that was the Dark Universe, which killed itself in a single film.
Yeah, with the Mummy.
Now they were going to have a Universal Monsters sort of Avengers, basically.
Yeah.
Right? So this include Dracula, the Invisible Man, include loads of these kind of characters, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, a lot of the Universal Monsters, right? Now when this tanked and failed miserably, Universal decided to give these properties over to the production Blumhouse.
Yeah, which is a really good move, I think.
Blumhouse they do have a hit and miss record, but majority of the time they do hit it out of the park, because they do have new and unique filmmakers who do this. Like this one was done by the filmmaker of Upgrade, which I also really, really like as well. And
I've not seen that movie, but you can kind of see the themes running, like the tech, like the scary tech kind of
technology is scary.
Yeah.
And you can sense that throughout this entire movie, especially when we find out what the Invisible Man actually is.
Oh. God damn. Oh, you can hear something too, just like in the back, like that little creaking.
Yeah.
It makes you think you're going mad. Oh, Jesus!
I can't believe we still knew that was coming, but it still it's still effective.
Yeah! And I'll say one thing though, it made me laugh the first time around, not just because it's just shocking, but also because he looks like a giant golf ball.
It does. It got us in the cinema when we watched it. We watched it again, and it got us again.
And it's because, right, you know he's there, but the dropping of the paint is so quick. Like, you're almost like, oh my god, it's literally instant.
Yeah, so you are actually, each time, you don't know quite when she's going to throw the paint.
Yeah.
So it's, even when you know it's going to happen, it's just, it still gets you, and it's just an awesome sequence. What did you think of Elisabeth Moss's performance?
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Thing is, because this whole movie is about it's unlike the original Invisible Man, which we'll get into. This movie, like you mentioned, it's about an abusive relationship. So she, at the beginning, she looks fragile. like really fragile.
Yeah.
Like she at the beginning of the movie, she's terrified to even leave the house, and totally understandable. But then eventually, just a little bit like, eventually she starts seeing things or starts imagining things, whatever it is, and people are constantly telling her, no, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Which is gaslighting, basically. The whole movie is about gaslighting, where it's basically someone constantly throwing at you, hey, what you think is real is not really real, you're just a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Oof, I hate this bit, because you knew at this point, he's covered in paint, he washes it off, and he's thinking, oh, now where the fuck is he?
Washes off pretty bloody quickly.
Yeah, especially with that suit being so technically advanced. Oh, the sound design in this movie is spot on, because it's just able to make everything a little bit creakier than it should be.
In the cinema with the sound system as well, it was just so booming and awesome. Like you could hear, when it really kicked in.
Oh, 100%.
We got to see the kitchen fight of that one.
Yes, loved it.
Really good, like scrappy and really kind of intimidating.
Oh my god.
You see, if this wasn't acted and performed well with stunt performers, it would be funny because she's kind of looks floating around by herself, but it's performed really well.
Well. It looks actually menacing. And for the longest time in the movie, you just think she's losing her mind until this happens. This is the moment where you can see it. You can actually see the grab as well. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh!
It's a proper scrap, isn't it?
Yeah. Like it's uncomfortable. Come on! Kick him in the nuts! You have to find it first, but Jesus!
Yeah, get the crockery out. One by one.
Smack with a couple of plates.
But oh my god, he is throwing her across like the room. Plates are being smashed. It's awesome.
I know, and if you think about where that sequence is in the movie, you've just been like sort of scared by that paint jump scare in the attic, and it goes straight into this. This is like a long, exciting sequence that kind of just linking them together. From this point on, the movie doesn't really give you time to breathe. You're kind of like glued to it, and you're like this. You're hooked, aren't you?
See, by this point in the movie, it's about maybe an hour in, I think.
Yeah.
The movie, it's finally elevated to like super mode, right? Because for the whole like 45 minutes to maybe an hour before all this happens, you don't even think it's real.
Yeah.
Because the movie does really clever stuff with cameras, where basically it's playing with your expectations, where sometimes you might be here, sometimes the camera would just pan away. And then it will just stay at a position for a long time. Now, in our heads, we're thinking there's nothing there. But we're also thinking, why are we panning to this and staying there for too long? Unless he's actually there.
Yeah, it's very, very creepy. And also, in the wider shots in the movie, it does something with production design, where like, in production design, you would eliminate dead space.
Yes.
But in this movie, they leave dead space. So you think that the Invisible Man is in that dead space. Like there's a scene where she's talking to the policeman.
Yes.
And like they're sort of like, and then there's a wide shot where there's a massive bit of white dead space in the corner, and that's where she thinks he is. So straight away he's got to be there. Like,
yeah, but maybe he's not.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea. We can't see him. It's very clever. But the whole movie's doing that for most of the movie until that point. Then you have to scrap. And then by this point, the whole movie goes, okay, now we know he's real and he exists. Holy shit. Everything goes AWOL.
Yeah.
I love it because it leads on to probably my favorite scene in the movie. And the reason why it's my favorite scene is because it actually made me laugh. We saw it in the cinema where, Elisabeth Moss's character goes and reconnects with her sister again in a restaurant. And it's the most... I'm not gonna ruin it, really, but it involves a floating knife and a movement that is so quick. My head just exploded and just laughed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, How was that even possible?
When we saw it in the cinema, it was kind of embarrassing because Johan was the only one like laughing. Everyone else was like freaked out. This is quite scary. Johan was like,
I was laughing. I was laughing. I was next to you, and I was next to Michael, our friend Michael. I'm going like, come on, come on, like someone join me here, you know? Yeah. Really, really, really good sequence. I was laughing probably out of nerves because I'm thinking, come on, it's really, 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 really funny sequence, but also the whole movie in general goes AWOL from there, and the action really amps up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what's all this?
I love the bad accents here.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Do you know who you're talking to, love?
Leave me alone. Give me a last chance. You've committed assault, this what you've done.
So let's talk about the original 1933 Invisible Man.
Yes.
So that is like, that was visually impressive at the time as well for different reasons. Watching it back now, it's still kind of, you kind of still appreciate how sort of like good the visuals were at the time, but it's now very funny, isn't it, watching it?
I think it's funny because of how campy it was done, right? But honestly, for 1933, very impressive visual effects.
Yes.
All right, you fools.
He's like a mad like villain at this point.
If you'd only left me alone, you've driven me near madness with your peering through the keyholes and gaping through the curtains. And now you'll suffer for it. You're crazy to know who I am, aren't you?
It's so hammy.
I'll show you.
Uh-oh.
There's a souvenir for you.
Got your nose.
For you. I'll show you who I am and what I am.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Look, he's all eaten away.
Even today's standard, if something similar was done now anyway, it would still be quite impressive. I think it's just the whole tone of the movie is not aged well.
No. And it's like, it's weird because in that movie, because a lot of the time he's trying to hide the fact that he's invisible.
Yes.
Whereas in the new movie, he's sort of wants to be invisible to be a right dickhead to everyone.
Brilliant. For 1933, that is an amazing visual effect.
You got the whole like famous look with the bandages and the sort of goggles or whatever they are, the sunglasses.
Yeah, because the whole point is it's based off the H.G. Wells story.
Yeah.
And the whole point of him is like, yes, you see a man, he's covered in bandages, he looks mysterious, you don't know why. And the whole curiosity is that eventually it's revealed that he's fully invisible. The reveal that he's visible in this is done like very dramatically, but also very campy. Because he's there and he's just like, it's like, I love it, he just froze the nose at the policeman. Yeah. Just froze the nose like, here, something for you.
Oh no, the other guys are like, do something!
You understand what I can do.
Well, that killed him. Oh no!
Hey, look out!
Yeah, no, it is really good. It's still good. They did like the old-fashioned sort of technique of like I think it was like similar to rotoscoping, where it's like a black background.
Yes.
And they can kind of just, because you can see like a black outline a little bit, can't you?
Yeah, so basically it's kind of like an old school version of green screen, where you'd have the actor sort of there in a blackish suit and a little bit of cutting out and everything else on a black background, makes it easier to cut around and a whole bunch of stuff like that. It's a tough technique. Even still, like it's green screen, it's old school green screen effects are still pretty tough, but I'd say it's pulled it to this effect. At the beginning, it's actually quite dramatic because at that point, I think it's the first time we've ever seen him go invisible.
Yeah, and there's some cool sort of like string work with like objects and stuff like that.
That's good.
When he's sort of like knocking things over, there's a bike that just goes. He goes off on a bike and he just kind of like goes through the town, doesn't like that. And it is watching it now. It is very sort of humorous. But I imagine at the time it would have been quite creepy because people would like, wow, how did they do that? He's invisible.
It's really effective.
Yeah.
I love it. She's scared that a door opened on its own than anything else. Again, for 1933, this is all very clever.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because it does look like there's an invisible man walking through that building. You know?
It's done with very good wire work, so well done for it. Although some bit is a bit slapsticky, like, I'm gonna steal your bicycle!
Yeah.
Right, so Holloman. Let's talk about Holloman.
Woo! Kevin Bacon butt!
That's back bacon.
Well done, thank you. Just waiting for a joke like that.
The now sort of, I suppose, the most iconic scene from that, which is where he's actually turning invisible, and it's kind of another, again, pretty good effect for the time.
Yes, I think what I've mentioned it. I think when we were watching reactions of it, but I think people do the Invisible Man as a means of testing out cinema and visual effects. Like they have, because in order to pull off a good Invisible Man and for the audience to believe there's an Invisible Man, you have to either pull off some really effective visual effects, really impressive makeup, or really good cinematography.
Yeah.
And I think all of those and all these three films have done that to some point. And I do remember this bit from Holloman where he's slowly he's turning invisible, but like layer by layer.
Yeah, it's my arm. It's getting warm. Okay, it's starting to tingle.
It's something's weird. I can't describe it.
Down into my back.
Oh, there it goes! More back bacon. Jesus Christ. Oh, there it is. Oh, that.
Elevated. Pulse at 110. 130.
Gotta admit, this actually, it looks really gross. Look at it. Oh!
Frank, readouts.
Brainwaves are spiking. He's on the verge of a seizure.
Pulse is 165, 170. Blood pressure 180 over 110.
Master, can you hear me?
Oh, he looks so slimy.
It does actually look quite good.
Yeah.
Still.
Still looks pretty good.
Blow out his heart.
Stand by pedals.
Coming in.
Give him some electrocution. Fry that bacon. Fry that bacon.
Subcellular quantum readings is gonna shift.
Bioelectric in the red. Wait.
He's going.
Pulse is 180. Holding stable.
I don't know why. It looks really funny with his face like, ah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right.
Holy shit.
I mean, that would be your reaction to this.
Pulse is dropping 170, 160, 150.
He's stabilizing.
It's cool because it takes quite a long time, and he's like going in like physical pain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he ends up sort of looking like a science classroom kind of model of the human body.
He looks a little shiny and plasticky, but it's pretty well done.
Oof.
This is when he's creepy now.
But like a real pervert creepy as well.
But anyway, when he got the invisible powers, he kind of just goes full on.
He goes super pervert.
Let's just do this kind of thing.
Yeah, he becomes super pervert.
Commits to the perving.
Because this is the thing. I think again, a thing with the Invisible Man situation as well is it's always a metaphor of if you were invisible, what would you think you can get away with? And like, you know, in the original Invisible Man, it's about, you know, just causing chaos, right? In this one, in Holloman, it's about, can I get away with being like weird and predatorial, right? Because the whole movie's like that, because he's very much a predator on, like, you know, either killing people or grabbing boobs. And then in the newer one, it's about, could I stalk someone I'm really obsessed with? And they're all done incredibly well.
Right, so what did you think of the Invisible Man movies? Do you like... have you seen the new movie? Do you like that one? Do you like the original? And what do you think about Kevin Bacon in Holloman?
Yeah.
Bit of back bacon.
Bit of back bacon. Drop a comment down below.
Right, thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe. See you next time on Enigmatic Productions.